Hey everybody, how you guys doing? This is your main man, AJ Smith, coming at you guys with another quick video. And in this video, this is going to become something completely different. Now, I've been watching a few of these videos that have been going viral when it comes to men versus women, battle of the sexes. I believe some of it is BS, but there's a lot of good things that have been going on about it, and a lot of things that have been, a lot of bad things that have been going on about it. I've been watching a lot of reviews and a lot of comments. And I also saw this viral video where this one guy named Kevin Samuels, of course, was giving this one woman a dose of reality. I don't see anything wrong with it, because apparently these women need to be told the real truth. As far as I'm concerned, when these women are in, and that's any of these women, but when these women are younger, they're told that they can have the world, that all men should cater to them, that they're princesses, they're bosses, let every man should respect you. And some of that is true, but to an extent. But a lot of women seem to have high egos. They believe that they are God's ticket to the world, that every man should worship them. And that's just not true. Because if that was the case, it would be called womankind, not mankind. It's always been the men that have been the leaders. And so far, it's always been the women trying to control men. True. They've been trying to control men. And it's the ones they try to control that they can't seem to lock down. And as for the men that they can't control, those are the ones that are leaving them. Women need to understand that the men that you are actively sexually attracted to are the ones that you are not able to lock down. Those are the ones that are wrong for you. You go after men that are wrong for you, and you don't seem to care. But get with a guy that you would never, ever give attention to. Once you don't get the man that you want, once you get pregnant and get left behind, as they call pump and dump, you end up blaming all men, including the men that are good to you and the men that have actually had your back. What happens to the men who have had your back and you've done nothing for them? I'm hearing a lot of women say that they deserve this, they deserve that, they want a man that makes six figures and stuff like that. First of all, it shouldn't even be about the money. Although there are a lot of women that are showing that gold digger side, whether they know it or not. Now, you guys are probably saying, oh, who is he to judge? First of all, I'm a guy. We men, we judge all the time, whether you like it or not. If we don't judge you, that means that any toxic woman that comes out of a relationship with a toxic guy that you chose to get with, you can suck somebody else dry. Think about that for one good minute. Think about that for one good minute. Read it, digest it, take it to the bank, and deposit it, whether you like it or not. You believe that you're God's gift to the world, and technically you are, because you had the babies, but it is your decision with whom you let into your life, and your decision as a woman with who you let into your temple. Who you choose to sleep with is your own choice. There are plenty of women in their early 20s, late 20s, they have plenty of options. But the options that I've seen a lot of women choose, from my personal perspective as a man, they choose short term over the long term. There was this story in the biblical text about Jesus being lured up to the mountain to be tempted by the devil. And I believe it went something like this. The devil saying, all of these things I will give to you if you will bow down and do an act of worship to me. If this is true and everyone seems to know this, why would you pick the short term over the long term? Last time I checked, anything short term and exciting is supposed to be an act of the devil giving you everything you want, but at a price. Some of you don't want to pay that price, or some of you know that there's a price and you don't care. Think about that. And as the devil said this, it was Jesus who said, "Go away, Satan, for it is written that you are not to test your Lord and Savior," or you're not supposed to test God in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure that's how it went. I may not be 100% accurate, but I'm sure it went that way. And for all of you who know what I'm talking about, think about it. Now, men are not going to change. It depends on how we men are raised and our morals. There's a lot of men out there who don't have any morals, and it's those same men who you women choose. You're hoping to change them, and it's not going to happen. You end up trying to take over, change, and rule over men who are, as they call it, betas, the very men that you are not attracted to. You will never respect the men that are actually there for you the way you respect the men who do not give a damn about you. If I'm wrong, drop me a like, drop me a thumbs up, drop me a thumbs down, comment below. The video that went viral, that is Kevin Samuels, I have to admit I'm a fan of his myself. I listen to his stuff, and a lot of his stuff makes sense. I can actually agree to some of it because I've had women choose other men over myself. And those same women that have chosen men over me ended up with 1 to 3 kids, 3 to 5 kids tops, between 5 and 10 years down the line. Half of those women are telling me that they wanted to rekindle a friendship with me because their relationship with the guys they actually wanted didn't work out. And then later on down the line, they end up saying, I should have chosen you, AJ. I've had this happen more than once. You want what you want, but you don't want to work for it. You want what you want. You think you're entitled to it. Once again, anything short term is usually the work of the devil, because when he promises you something, it's never for free. It's always a price. There's a price even when you're going with God's own work, except with him, it's longevity. It's long term. And with that, you'll have generational prosperity, generational spirituality, and generational wealth. Now, the woman in that video said that she was average looking. She basically brought herself down by herself before Kevin Samuels could even say anything. So I really don't understand why everyone is dogging him out and cursing him out. But I can understand that there's a lot of women that don't want to see things that way. And I can actually concur that Kevin Samuels just kept it real, kept it by the book. There are a lot of women that need to be told that they are nothing special. And because they're nothing special, they need to actually use that brain of theirs, not the lower one where they're acting on emotion, but acting on logic. Some of you are single moms between the ages of 20 and 30 with kids from the number of 1 and 3, if not 3 to 5. And I'm keeping it between those numbers because I happen to know women in that specific field who are single moms of that kind. I said I wasn't going to keep this video too long, but it had to be said because there's been a lot of reaction videos towards what Kevin Samuels said to this 135-year-old with a 13-year-old son. I have nothing against her, but I have to agree with what he said because there are a few women I personally know, whether short-term or long-term, who wanted something. They didn't want to wait. They went on ahead. They got what they wanted from another guy. And then later on down the line, they regret getting with that guy. They love their kids, but they regret getting with the guy they had the kids with. And then coming back to guys like myself saying, I should have chosen you. I should have did things the way you wanted. Too late now, but I can gradually say that congratulations on learning what you needed to learn. And with some of you women, you've done it more than once. You don't want to work for anything, but you're entitled to everything. Sorry, but that's your fault, and that's also the parents' fault for not better equipping you mentally for the world and for the world of men. Not showing you what kind of men you should be looking into. Not showing you the dangers of what can happen. And like I said, if I had $1 for every single time I heard a woman say, oh, I never thought I'd be in this situation. I never thought I'd be a single mom once, twice, 3 times, and in some cases, 3 to 5 times. If I had $1 for every single time there was a woman that said that, I think I'd be a millionaire by now because I've heard too many stories like that since the time I was 16 up to around the age of 33? Thank you. Come on. This whole pump and dump thing, it's getting really old. Women giving themselves to men that don't respect them and don't stick around is getting really old. But yet, if the one man that you choose that does not want you can end up screwing it for everybody else, that means that every man is the same. Now, I guess I can say that I concur because I've been screwed over by a woman and I've hated every woman at least for a little while, at least once in my life. But I had to understand that every choice that was made was my own. Me settling for a toxic woman was my own choice because I wanted to show that I was the best for her. She made her choice in the end, as they all do. Just like you all women are going to make your choice in the end. And whether you can keep a guy or not is completely up to you. But how submissive are you going to be to that man? Some men don't even care if you're submissive to them or not. Once you give it up, that's all it takes. And the moment they find you're pregnant, they're gone. think about that, and if I'm right, whether I'm right or wrong, leave a comment down below. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this specific situation. You guys have a great day and have a great night, depending on when you're seeing this. Love, peace, namaste.